Michelle Multidimensional.
Hello and welcome to the December energy update with me, Michelle Multidimensional. I am a multidimensional trauma healer as well as a psychic, a galactic channel, a tarotpist, and also an exorcist. And I also craft artisan candles. Welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about the December collective energies, what I've been tuning into. And we're also going to discuss the gateway to the divine, which I'm really excited to share with you. This is a channeled message that started to come through during my personal practice, and my guides were like, wait, we want to share this with more people. So I'm going to actually go through my process and open my channel here with you all this evening. So what's up? What is everyone moving through in December? December is obviously a big time for reflection, thinking about, what we've accomplished this year, what we've experienced, giving ourselves grace for those spaces and places where we dove deep into lessons that maybe we thought we had moved past, and acknowledging all of the work that we have done and all of the healing that we've done with ourselves this year. So round of applause to you for everything that you have accomplished in 2024. So collective energies that I have been tuning into. So over the last, I would say, 2 weeks, right as December is beginning to open, I'm noticing and it's 444 on my clock here. So that's my confirmation. That's my number that I wear. So I have been noticing that there's a message coming through around aligning our actions and our frequency. And so the very first thing that I want to talk about with you all today before we get into the channel is that when we are on an ascension path, right? We're on an ascension path and we're very clearly at the precipice of that next level of self, of that next level of reality. Maybe we've even gotten glimpses of that next level of reality, and we've maybe stepped into it a little bit, but not fully. Like maybe we can get there for a week or two, but then we fall back, or maybe it's just a day or 2 or 3, but then we fall back, right? So what to do when we're in this sort of interim space of being in between realities and in between worlds for what we're manifesting. What my guides were sharing with me is that when we are at these places, what's most important is actually not action. So yes, it's very crucial and key to take messy action, to take action, to manifest what we want to manifest, right? Obviously, we can't just think it into being and have it happen. We actually have to do things that match our thoughts and our intentions, right? It's about getting our thoughts, our behaviors, our actions into alignment. So, but what they were explaining to me is that it's actually more about your frequency than it is about your actions at certain points, especially at these precipice points. And that is because the actions are not, there's a little bit of a loop or repetitiveness to the actions that we're engaging in. And there's some more consciousness and some more awareness that needs to be brought in from a higher level, from a higher frequency, in order to actually shift into that next level of self. Because that next level of self is going to require a different set of actions. And so continuing to just take action as we've been directed, or as what feels comfortable and familiar for us, that is probably just us running a subconscious program. And so it's not actually necessarily going to get us to where we are wanting to go until the actions are in alignment with that new frequency. I hope this is making sense. So essentially, as we are on the precipice of a frequency shift, what's more important is to attune our frequency and attune our vibration so that when ideas do come through the channel, they're from that higher space and will be directed toward the next action steps that we should take from that higher space rather than just the hamster wheel. So that is one of the collective messages that has been coming through for me, is around this concept of action versus frequency and knowing when we should focus on action and when we should focus on frequency, right? So super important concept, and definitely something that my guides have been just like hammering in for me. I know that this past week I really have mostly been focusing on my frequency and just like doing what feels really good and right and aligned in my body. And so I've mostly just been like making candles and being creative for this last week. And I have some upcoming gigs this weekend, and I have some stuff that's already kind of in the pipeline. But as far as like working really hard, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday this week has really just been about me attuning my frequency and making space for creativity and space for flow and space for the channel, okay, to open. And so really important that we give ourselves some space sometimes, like 1 to 3 days, or maybe even like 1 to 5 days, if like depending on who you are and like how your energy flows. But as psychics and as people that are activating, and you know, when we go through these frequency shifts, we really have to give ourselves grace and give our bodies the time and the space to acclimate. And so, yeah, action versus frequency. Let me know how that lands for you. So when I was tuning into what the topic of this particular video is going to be about, I got the download to call this the gateway to the divine. And the very first message that came through as I opened my channel just now before I started recording this video was that, so I'm actually going to tune in and begin to like pull that message back in and connect in with my guides. I'm just connecting in. It's just what I prefer to do, is a little bit of light language. Activating my field. Okay, so when I went in earlier, and the question that I'm entering into now is how to activate and cultivate an even stronger channel and remain connected to higher self at all times so that we are always receiving the highest and best possible guidance for ourselves from our team and from our higher self. And I asked, what do I need to do to further cleanse and purify my channel? And I'm just going to get into the response that was starting to come through earlier. So there's actually nothing to quote unquote do. It's more about relaxing fully into what is and what you're currently experiencing, and allowing yourself to rest and relax fully in this moment, becoming more present with everything around you, increasing your presence and increasing your ability to accept this moment and all that it is the gateway to the divine. So it's less about doing or cleansing or clearing, and more about just softening and relaxing and trusting and flowing into and with what is. Self-trust and self-acceptance are the keys to the portal of the heart, and also the portal to all information, all galactic information. As we trust ourselves and fully trust life and fall deeper and deeper into self-acceptance and acceptance of the moment, a very magical unfolding and blossoming is able to occur. There is no higher form of love than full acceptance of what is and the expression of something. To love something or someone is to accept it fully in its highest and fullest expression and desire that that person become their highest expression, no matter their connection or relationship to you. Does that make sense? Love has a lot to do with acceptance. And so by shifting into a state of self-acceptance, we are actually aligning with the frequency of love. Alignment with the frequency of love is the key. It is the gateway to the divine. And aligning with the frequency of love is achieved through self-trust, self-acceptance, and full presence within the moment. This means being open to flow, finding flow state. When we disconnect from time, we disconnect from the 3D matrix. Find a way to disconnect from time and step into a state of timelessness if you want to access higher dimensional frequencies. Disconnecting yourself from the concept of time for some amount of time, ironically, is the key to disconnecting from the 3D matrix. So start there. Start by allowing yourself to disconnect from the concept of time and a schedule and an hour and a day and just be. Allow yourself to just be without knowing what time it is, and see how that feels in your system. See how it feels to be in flow and to not know the hour. To intentionally disconnect and disengage. This will help you to connect into a higher dimensional frequency state. And from here, you may begin to download information that is useful to you at this time. For those of you that are wishing to connect with your galactic guides, and for those of you that are wishing to connect with your spirit team and your higher self and strengthen your channel, another way to do so is to disconnect from time. Seeing if there's anything else coming in through the channel. And by the way, I do work with the Pleiadians for the most part as my guides. I also work with the Council of the Nine on occasion, although this message today is definitely channeled from the Pleiadians, the angelic realm. They're wanting to bring forward a topic of protection and protecting your energy. It's important as psychics to have a protection practice. protection meditations that we can do before bed or for grounding, protection prayers that we say as we engage in psychic work, or maybe even a protection prayer that you say in the beginning of every day or every evening, like as you're going to bed. Just a subtle reminder, they're bringing forward this concept of making sure that everyone is properly protecting themselves psychically. Especially as we get into this information around channeling, it's so important to have a protection practice and a good relationship with spiritual cleansing practices and your own personal psychic prayers to support you in this work. Let's see if there's anything else that wants to come through the channel before we close today. They're just emphasizing this state of total being with the moment, practicing full presence and awareness, and this reminder that as we tune into the senses, we become more present naturally. For example, there's actually a helicopter flying above my apartment right now, and I can hear it. And as I tune into knowing that I can hear that and the sensation of hearing that, I feel my body, I feel my awareness more, coming more into my body, coming more into the moment. And so developing practices that you can utilize to remind yourself to check into the present moment, check back in. We tend to scroll on our phones a lot, right? It's just a part of modern society. When we do that, we are not present in our body. So the guides are reminding us, get out of your head, get into your body. Spend time in timelessness and in disconnection from technology. Presence is the medicine that is coming through for this collective that's watching this YouTube video at this time. Presence and increased awareness. Self-acceptance, self-trust, frequency of love, timelessness, flow state, all of these things, they remind us, are gateways to the divine. Let's all take a collective deep breath. Wow. I hope that there was a nugget of wisdom in here for you today. I was super called to just hop on and channel that. I was going to do that as like a personal session, but my guides were like, wait, go to your microphone and record this. So I did. So yeah, look forward to seeing you all next time. Bye.